Let's hit this one at about 25. Not bad. 35. All right, next one we're gonna hit at 40. Here we go. All right, I'm back with another bike rack review. This is the OutfitR 4186 model. It's a 2-bike, 200-pound capacity, tilting e-bike carrier. It will handle tire width up to 5 inches wide, really fat tires. So it's a really solid rack. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to load and unload bikes off this thing. But first, let me show you how I put it together. Okay, I think I'm gonna start the build right here at the back of my car. We'll build it right on the hitch. Let's take a look in the box. It is nicely packed. Let's pull everything out and start assembling it. All right, there you go, laid it all out for you. Not a lot of assembly required. It's got the 2 holders here, the bike holders that are, they look like they're nearly complete. They've got the slide lever mechanisms all assembled already. I've got the hitch and the tilt mechanism over there, the wheel holders, and then the ramp, which is, it feels like it's made out of steel. I think everything is made from steel except for the rails there like that. And then even those little tire holders are made of steel too. So it's really, really rugged. It does come in this carbon fiber finish. It looks like a hydro dip finish. So it's got like the carbon fiber look here and here on these slide rails. And then the only thing else we have left is a box with some hardware. And I've got the manual here, which I took a peek at. It's only like 4, 5, 6 pages, something like that. So that should be pretty simple. All right, and then for tools, all we're going to need is a 5 and 6 millimeter hex wrench, a 13 and 17, which I also have socket and ratchet for those, and a 24. I think this is for the hitch bolt, if I remember correctly. And that's about it. That's all you need. There's the hardware in there. I'm going to open that up, and I will take a little closer look at the manual, make sure I do everything in order. But yeah, we'll build it right on the hitch. All right, let's start with putting the first piece in the hitch, and we'll align the hole right there. And let me just show you, they included the hitch bolt here. This is the anti-wobble bolt. You tighten this down so the rack doesn't wobble around when you're driving. But this one has a lock, which is really nice. A little bit of anti-theft protection. All right, we screw this guy all the way in. This is where we needed that 24 millimeter. We tighten it down like that, and no wobble. And then we put the lock on this side like that. All right, and then we put this piece in here. Bolt goes in the middle like that. And then we've got a pin here that holds it for tilting. So we'll leave it down in the horizontal position for now. And I realize I need 2 24 millimeters. It did say in the manual. So I've got my 24 here, and I've got a 15/16 socket, which will work for the nut. So you do need 2 24s or a couple of 15/16. So when we want to tilt the rack up and down, we pull the pin out and put it up here like that. And then we put the cotter pin in to lock it in place. We'll put it down for now. We're gonna put the rails on. Then down underneath here, there's a bolt here that tightens up against the tilt mechanism. Keeps this from bouncing around. You want to snug that up so it doesn't wobble. All right, and with that all mounted, then we put the rails on. All right, and then these secure with 2 bolts all the way through. All right, and I do see you need 2 wrenches to tighten down these 2 through bolts. You'll for sure, I have a ratchet, but you'll for sure need a wrench that'll fit in between here. So 1 regular wrench and one ratchet is fine, or 2 wrenches is fine too. Okay, then we'll install the wheel chocks. All right, then you want to tighten these down enough so that you can still move as you're loading the bike over, because it's going to flip like that when we load, but you don't want them so loose that it's wobbling around when you have nothing on here. All right, and then the ramp attaches on the back of the rack right in here, and there's a locking pin mechanism to hold it in place. I've also got a little leash here, so we'll probably attach that on the back here like that so we don't lose it. And that just goes through here, locks in place. We'll take this bolt out and attach it there like that. All right, there you go. All together, pretty easy to assemble. Most of it was pre-assembled, like I said. I just had to remember I did need two 24 millimeters wrenches for that bolt, that tilt bolt there. And then these through bolts, you need two 17s. So a socket is fine, but you'll want an open end or a box wrench to fit, you know, between that little gap there. And then you didn't need I didn't need the 5 millimeter hex. I needed the 6 millimeter for that guy that goes through the wheel chocks there. Otherwise, pretty straightforward, not very difficult to build. It was easy building it up on the hitch like that. It just kept everything nice and stable for me. So, all right, I think we're ready. We're ready to put some bikes on it now. All right, we're ready to show you how to load a bike onto the rack. Let me show you how it's done. I've got a nice big bike here, 26-inch fat tire, 4-inch wide wheels. This one's just shy of 100 pounds, so we're well within the capacity. This rack should be able to handle 2 of these bikes. It's got a 200-pound capacity. Okay, let's start with folding this guy down. What we'll need to do is pull the pin like that and pull this one out. And this is where you want to be careful because the rack will tilt forward, and in my case, it will actually touch my car. So I'm holding on to it right now. What we'll do is let it down nice and easy like that, and then we'll put the pin back in to hold it in place, and we'll put the clip in on this side. All right, the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to fold up the tire clamps. You can hold the ratchet locks here like that. Let's get us up somewhere right here. What you want to do is roll up onto the wheel chocks like that and capture the front tire in on this side. We'll get the back tire in and flip that side up. All right, and then to get the ramp off, we'll unhook this clip like that, pull that pin, and then we've got the ramp ready to go. We'll stick it in these 2 slots like that. Then we'll line up the front wheel, give it a push. Drop that front wheel in like that. Then we go over to the front wheel here and we give that thing a click in place, capture that front wheel in there. Then we'll pull the ramp out of the back. We'll reinstall it back in here. Then we'll take the back tire holder and ratchet it up. It fits just below the fender on this bike. Snap it in place like that, and should be good to go. All right, and to unload, all you need to do is lower the rear tire clamp like that, reinstall the ramp, tug backwards, roll it back down the ramp. And we can't resist doing a bounce and jump test. All right, there you have it. That is the 2-bike hitch mount rack from Young Electric Outfitter, the tire clamp style. Fat tire e-bike, high capacity, 200-pound capacity bike rack. If you want to learn more about this particular rack or other Outfitter racks, I will have all the information down in the video description. There'll be links down there. You can check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.